balance sheet is what tells us the health of the business. It lets us know if a business can survive in a downturn of a market. In this video, we'll be looking at some famous companies to review their balance sheets to determine if they're in a good place or a bad place. If you're unfamiliar with what a balance sheet is, I made a previous video on how to read each item in a balance sheet. So go ahead, click up here somewhere and go ahead and check out that video before watching this one. So diving into Meta. So if we look at Meta's balance sheet, we can see that between cash and cash equivalents and marketable securities, they have about $81 billion. And then if we're looking over under their liabilities at their debt, we can see that their total debt is around $58 billion. So they have more cash and marketable securities than debt. So that's a great thing. That indicates that Meta is in a healthy position and will do just fine if we were to have any market turbulence. So, from a grading perspective, Meta gets a big check. Hopping over to Carnival Cruise Line. So, if we look at cash and cash equivalents, we can see $1 billion. And if we hop over to look at their debt, we can see that they have $23 billion of long-term debt. And I actually missed that they have some debt that's coming due soon. So that's an extra 1.5 billion. So if you're looking between debt and cash equivalents, there is a huge difference with debt overwhelmingly powering. So for that, Carnival Cruise Line gets a huge minus for a bad balance sheet. Absolutely yuck. This balance sheet makes Carnival very risky if the market were to downturn, as if this debt were to become due, they don't have enough money to pay it off. Now, if you were to dig deeper into the balance sheet, you can see that most of their assets are in the property and equipment, which makes sense being a cruise line company. So, in order to pay off this debt, they would have to sell a lot of their fleet if worst case scenario happened, which is not a good scenario to be in. Hopping over to the next one, if we're looking at Ford Motor Company, so from a cash and marketable securities, they have a little over $38 billion. And then if we're comparing that to long-term debt, just looking at the company excluding Ford Credit, they have about $16 billion. Now, if we look at the debt from Ford Credit, that's about $89 billion. So you think, whoa, that's way more than what they have. This long-term debt consists of unsecured debt, corporate bonds, and asset-backed securities issued to fund and support their automotive financing unit, Ford Credit. So unlike automotive manufacturing debt, Ford Credit acts as a banking arm. Its large debt load, it's a normal reflection of its operations. The company borrows capital to finance consumer vehicle loans, and then these liabilities are supported by the receivables and assets that we see. So when we're looking at the 89 billion for Ford Credit debt, we would compare that to the two Ford Credit finance receivables items up here, and those equal 110 billion. So that is more. So with that in mind, I would give Ford Credit, it still gets a check of like the cash and receivables and securities. It's more than the debt they have, so that's a good thing. But I would say it's just fine. It's not as clear cut as Meta or some other big tech companies with higher margins where it's clear as day that the cash and marketable securities are way above debt. And the last example we'll look at is Boeing. So if we look at cash and short-term and other investments, we can see that equals about 20 billion. And if we look down at the debt on their balance sheet, there's about $46 billion of debt, which is more than 2x of their cash and short-term investments. So that gets a no-go from the healthy balance sheet perspective. On top of that, if you were to look at their total assets compared to their total liabilities, they're very close together, which is not what you want to see because that means there is very little stockholder equity that's remaining. So to recap, when looking over a balance sheet, it'll tell you what the health of the business is. And the main goal of it from the highest level is just to look to make sure that their debt is lower than their cash and marketable securities. So that way we can be confident that even in the worst conditions, we know the company can survive and get out to the other side with having to take on excessive loans or issue a ton of different shares and dilute shareholder value. So if you liked this video and this was helpful, please hit that subscribe button down below and make sure to hit that like button. And let me know in the comments below if you're now confident in your ability to review a balance sheet and be able to determine if it's in a good place or not a good place. And if you have any other remaining questions, let me know that as well. Until then, let's focus on the long term. I'll see you in the next one.